Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Jennifer Oliver O'Connell as the girl turns, and you are in my orbit on redstate.com and substack.com. I am walking through the Gaylord, CPAC Day 3, Saturday, February 24th, I believe. And we are about to walk into the session for former President Donald Trump. And there's always lots of preparation. First of all, the phalanx going through Secret Service. I had to toss out my metal water bottle. It's like, what am I gonna do? Hit him over the head with it? I don't get it, but this is the way of the world. I'll get another one. They can be replaced. But media coverage for this, as well as Argentinian President Javier Milei is going to be speaking. So that will be quite an interesting thing. Not only the translation part, but the fact that he has cut a huge swath into Argentina, writing so many things in terms of their budget, and has a lot of conservative policies that this country could maybe pay some attention to in order to get out of the whole mess that we are in, our deficit, our mess. We'll see who's listening. So looking forward to hearing those speeches, maybe covering some of them on Red State and Substack, as well as just hanging out with my Red State crew and the media area and seeing all of our lovely CPAC attendees. It's an interesting bunch. There's one guy who kind of looks like Patriot Front, or I don't know. But, along with gorgeous dresses and Second Amendment things, we also have people who just, want to show their patriotism, wanting to show their pride in Trump. This is CPAC. This is how it goes down. A little bit thinner this year than it has been in previous years, and I think this is the calm before the storm, just because President Trump is coming. So everyone is getting their seats, and they're going to shut everything down once he enters. So, hold on to your seats and go to the restroom. Otherwise, you're going to be a mess. But this is kind of the joy and the craziness and the interesting aspects of covering these type of political events. In terms of longevity, CPAC is moving international. So with President Milei, as well as they've had other CPAC speakers who are foreign nationals and dignitaries and all that stuff. They had their first international conference. So part of, American conservative unions combating losing relevance, because in a lot of ways they are. A lot of people that are here are the same old retreads, some fresh faces, but the people who are kind of cutting a fresh path seems to be TP USA and America Fest. And I've said that before, that CPAC is kind of losing relevance. So in order to maintain that relevance, to maintain that footprint, it seems like they're going international, and you know what? That's not a bad thing. And maybe it will bring them back to the roots of conservatism and out of the DC swampiness, the unreliable aspect of just people wanting to collect money in the conservative movement and be influencers and not actually conserve anything or change the landscape of our country for better and not for worse. So we'll see what happens, but it's been a fun event. Election years are always pivotal. It'll be interesting to hear what probably the presumptive Republican nominee has to say. And it will also be interesting to hear some other speakers. We got Vivek coming on, as well, Vivek Ramaswamy. So it'll be interesting to hear what they have to say as well. Anything new, anything different. The previous sessions have been in my interest, and I will write about it on Red State. Who's going to be the vice presidential pick? Two of the candidates that the media constantly seems to be floating, women candidates, Kristi Noem, as well as Elise Stefanik, have already spoken. Not terribly interesting speeches. I've heard both of them before. Elise Stefanik is not the best of speakers. Kind of wouldn't. I'm sure she means well, but don't necessarily see her as vice presidential material, but I could be wrong. But Byron Donalds, keep an eye on Byron Donaldson. This is the one nobody's talking about. They're talking about Tim Scott, blah blah blah. Byron Donaldson. He made a very distinctive speech. I'm going to also write about that on Red State, and we'll see what Trump does. It'll be interesting nonetheless. So I'm getting back into the media scrum, but looking forward to reaching out to you via word or via video at the end of this session to wrap it all up. I'm Jennifer Oliver O'Connell, As the Girl Turns. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, or X, Instagram, Telegram, True Social, Getter, and Gab. Have an awesome day, afternoon, evening, weekend. Ciao.